Emmanuel. Now I got to praise you in the house tonight. You really know what I'm talking about, Emmanuel. Thank you, Jesus. We worship you, Lord. Come on, come on. Come on and worship him. Thank you, Jesus. We worship you. Lord, we worship you. We worship you. We magnify you. Yes, we worship you. Come on, let me see some hands. We worship him. We worship you. Everybody. We worship you. We worship you.
Yes, hello, we are live. Good evening, good evening. So I see one person has joined me already. Thank you so much for joining. We're just going to wait for more people to join us. But meanwhile, I want you to just join me in this little Thanksgiving. Come, let us adore him.
Kneel down before him.
Kneel down before him.
Worship and adore him.
Worship and adore him.
Come on, say it again. Let us.
Come, let us adore him.
Kneel down before him.
Kneel down before him.
In your presence, Lord, we worship.
Worship and adore him.
Help me say,
Emmanuel.
come on and say, Emmanuel.
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 We worship you, dear Lord.
Emmanuel.
Come on, say Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. So I see two people have joined us already. Just tell us where you're watching from. Yeah, my mood is high tonight because our conversation tonight is one that I know is going to empower us as well as empower our children. So as a parent, we need to connect to that high frequency that helps us to become more of ourselves. So hello, welcome so much, and thank you for joining me tonight on yet another meet and greet session. Tell me where you're watching me from. I see someone has joined me. Thank you so much. I'm Uchechi Akiyemi, the founder of the Empowered Parents International. A very big welcome to all our new members. Thank you so much. About 21 new members joined this week. So we say a very big welcome to you. You're welcome to the Empowered Parents International. This is a forum for raising empowered parents, raising empowered parents. And it's not just the married that are here. We have singles that desire to do it right on this journey of parenting. And I always say to my friends, you know, that yet to get married, that this is the right time to study, this is the right time to read, this is the right time to get all the knowledge that you need concerning parenting, not just business or any other, you know, aspect of your life that gives you joy. Parenting is one aspect that you need to take seriously. So learning what to do at the right time is key. All right? Yeah. So today we start. Yeah, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate you. So today we are going to be talking about the 5 powerful strategies for raising contented children. Yes, I tag them powerful because they are indeed very powerful. And I would love that you stay to the end of today's session because I have a very interesting good news to share with you, and I know that you're going to be excited about it. So please stay to the end of today's session and you'll be a part of that good news. I really believe so. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know where you are watching me from. So today, into our topic for today, contentment, contentment. The word contentment. Yes, I had to start with music today because I really, it's suiting, it's really suiting. There's a whole lot of things happening in the world today that is really beyond our control. And one thing I've realized is that when you cannot change the things that are happening around you, the only thing that you have power to do is how you feel on your inside. So at all times we need to create an atmosphere that shows vibrancy, that shows positivity, that shows that all is not lost, that there's a whole lot that could get better if only we have the right frame of mind. So contentment means being okay with what you have. In simple terms, contentment means being okay with what you have per time. Being okay with what you have per time. There's just a whole lot of comparison. There's just a whole lot of competition. There's just a whole lot of, trying to oppress one another with material things. This is the time that parents should begin to inculcate their children with this empowering knowledge to be contented truly, because they cannot always have it all. They cannot always have it all. But there is always a strength in them that they can capitalize on, be excited about it, and bless their world with it. So those are the things that we're going to be learning today, how we can build this contentment in our children, especially our teenagers, because at that age, there's just a whole lot of consciousness in them, and they begin to, get so much aware of themselves and begin to wish that they were like somebody else. So this knowledge is one that your children need to get even right before they become teenagers, so that they would know how to handle the peer pressures that are bound to come with this, age. So the first thing that you have to teach your children is, first of all, as a parent, you need to model. So that is one strategy for raising contented children. As a parent, you need to model contentment. If you missed our last week's broadcast on modeling, a tool for parenting, you can catch it up. It's in our group and it was also streamed on my profile. Modeling, a tool of parenting. Modeling, contentment is key. Children rather will do what they see than just practically doing what they say or what you say. So you go ahead and tell your child, why are you trying to be like your friend? Why do you always want what this person wants and all of that? You just keep saying and saying and saying, and they don't even see the practical ways on how to actually, behave or act contented. So as a parent, we need to model contentment at all times. It starts from the decisions that you make, the limits that you set to yourself. You can tell yourself that, oh, I have this number of clothes per time and I'm going to stick with it. Even though you have, what it takes to get much more, you can tell yourself that I'm going to stick with this number of clothes that I have, I'm going to stick with this number of shoes I have, and I'm going to use my money for something else that is bigger than myself. So you need to model contentment. Your life has to be beyond you, not all the time. It's all about you. So many times we need to be deliberate about modeling contentment to our children. And then another thing we have to understand is that when our children begin to feel these feelings of envy, jealousy, anger, and frustration, you don't want to shut them up. You need to let them express express those feelings and help them understand that their feelings are valid. If you don't let your children express these feelings, freely with you, they might never express it next time when it happens, and they will just resort to other, strategies that you might not be aware of. So when your children, begin to compare or begin to demand what somebody else has, don't shut them down and say, come on, stop that. Don't shut them down at that moment. They might, feel bad because they were just expressing their genuine feeling at that time. But no, you have to empower them with the right mindset. As a parent, when your children expresses those, emotions, frustration, envy, jealousy, don't shut them down, but rather use it as an opportunity to teach them the right mindset to have towards things. Now, I'm going into the next strategy, which is quit comparison. So in teaching them the right mentality, help them not to compare. Teach them not to compare. Let them not compare. Let them know that there is something beautiful about them. So as parents, I shared something in my group the other day. I said, when last did you say I love you to your children? You need to tell your children the beautiful things that you know and you love about them. So many times when we compare, or when our children compare, it's because they feel that there's something lagging on the inside, and they feel like what the other person has is much more better than what they have. And you can, make it more practical. You can call your child together, and say, okay, tell me some of the strengths that you have. And they begin to write down the strengths that they have. They begin to write down the strengths they have. And by the time they have written down a whole lot, they would even realize that they have underestimated their blessings. They have underestimated their blessings. So a lot of people compare and are not contented with what they have because they have not taken time to reflect on their blessings. They have not taken time to look within themselves and see how much God has blessed them with. It doesn't have to be in the way that the other person was blessed. Your own blessing could be so unique, but many times a whole lot of things happen, and we lose track of a whole lot of good things that God had done for us. So you need to teach your children that comparison is, it's not the way to go. It kills creativity. It kills creativity. So many of the points that I'm sharing, I want to believe that there are action points to them. They are not possible today. So as I mentioned this point, if you have your pen, you have your notes, you could just take down this point and consciously and intentionally begin to build a plan towards that. So now talking about teaching your children how to stop comparing themselves with others. You could just help them, you create a plan that's probably every week your children, that's for the older kids, could sit down and write at least 10 good things about them. They have to keep doing these things consistent. They have to keep doing it, often, so that these children will be more conscious of their strengths. They'll be more conscious of their blessings than what they, seemingly do not have. Okay, so yes, another strategy, which is the number 3 strategy for teaching contentment, is practicing gratitude. So if you notice, all of those points kind of flow into each other. Yes, so you have to teach gratitude. You have to practice gratitude. You could have a gratitude journal that they write every morning what they are grateful for, and every evening before they go to bed what they are thankful for, their blessings for the day, their experiences, whether good or bad. I tell you, it's not just adults that do this. This is a practical, life skill that you could begin to inculcate in your children as early as 5 years old. They don't have to be teenagers before this begins to happen. As early as 5 years old, yes, a whole lot of 5 years olds could write, very simple sentences. Let them have journals that they can write, I am happy for my mommy. I am happy for my daddy. I'm happy for food. I'm happy for school. I am happy for life. Let them develop an attitude of gratitude. An attitude of gratitude early enough, and this can be as practical as having a journal where they write their gratitudes in the morning. When they wake up, they are grateful for what they have. That will set the tone of the day, so they don't go into the world, or they don't go into their day feeling feeling like there's something lacking in them. They go into their day with a whole lot of gratitude. So when they see people that appear to be better than them, brighter than them, smarter than them, of course it's just an appearance, because those people are not perfect. They also have their weaknesses that you might not even know about. Then because they already have that attitude of gratitude already, they get into the day and they are not comparing themselves with those people, but they are even thankful for those people's blessings. Wow, this is serious. They are even thankful for those people's lessons. So yes, in teaching your children to stop comparing themselves with others, you need to teach them how to channel that energy to being genuinely happy for other people's blessings, genuinely happy for other people's wins, genuinely happy for other people's successes. And they should also practice, celebrating their own wins. So when your children accomplish great feats, when they accomplish small feats, parents, please try to celebrate them, because great feats don't usually happen often, but then small feats are things that happen daily. They are, they met with their goal for the day, then you can celebrate it. So they are constantly in the spirit of joy. They are constantly in the spirit of gratitude. And that is actually what my music earlier today was setting me on, that frequency of gratitude. God has done so much for me that even when we begin to count the things that he has not done, the things that he has done, outnumbers the things that we still expect him to do. Yes, life can be so tough, the whole environment can be so tense that you tend to forget those deep lessons that you prayed earnestly for, and God gave it to you by mercy, those favors, those breakthroughs, and all of those beautiful opportunities that came your way effortless. You could just forget that easily and begin to wish that your life was as cool as somebody else's life. So you have to practice gratitude intentionally, okay? Nothing happens by chance. Your feelings can want to grow wild, but that you have to tame those thoughts. You have to also master your mind. Yes, so I think I've mentioned about 3 of them, and I mentioned initially, I said model contentment, and number 2 I mentioned quit comparison, and number 2 I mentioned quit comparison, number 3 I mentioned practice gratitude, and number 4 is service. Serve, serve, serve. You need to serve. You need to teach your children to serve. Okay, when people are very busy helping other people, they look beyond themselves. Their life is not as small as me, I need. But when they begin to serve other people that are in genuine need, they begin to see how favored they are. Your children begin to see how favored they are. Your children begin to see how blessed they are. That even in that state where they feel like they are lacking something, they are still more privileged than people. So get your children on the field. Let them volunteer in things. Even now that schools are, not currently running, let your children know that there are people out there that, need help. You could have a plan. Again, you could have a reach out program plan. You could have a reach out program. Of course, we have to, put a lot of caution into these things, but then we can have a reach out program. It could be once in a month. As a family, we are going to commit to, visiting an orphanage home, or we could go visiting people that are in the hospital that are in their need, or we could go to the home of the destitute, just give things to people and connect with them. Let those people tell you their stories. It's good that your children have one-on-one conversations with those people that are in their need. So even as they give something, it could be something as small as, toiletries, anything that could make other people's lives better. They could go with it. In giving them, they should have a communication with those people where those people, share their story of how life has been so hard, how life has been so mean to them. This will really register gratitude in your children's life. They will see that, oh my God, this life is really beyond me. It's no longer about me, me, me. There's just a whole lot of people out there that are in real lack. So when your children begin to have all of this in their consciousness, whatever they see out there, they are only thinking of how they can keep reaching out and keep making people feel better. So in that service, there's a whole lot of fulfillment. That vacuum that makes them feel like, oh, there's something lacking. That vacuum is filled with so much joy and peace that they have actually made someone's life better, right? So yeah, I mentioned like 4 of them. Whichever sticks for you or whatever one stands out for you, I'd love to see them in the comment section. I'd love to see them in the comment section. All right, so the 5th is very, very important. Limit the commercials that you expose your children to. This one, it is so serious that wherever they turn, there's this commercials that is telling them that if they don't have this particular product, if they don't look this certain way, they are not cool, they are not smart. If they are not a particular size, especially if you have kids that are pretty, big in size, they might begin to feel that they need to be slimmer, they need to fit into those clothes, they need to be that, just a whole lot of insecurities that all of these commercials, put in our system just because they want us to, buy whatever it is that they are selling. So limit your children to all of these commercials. Before it didn't used to be this way. When you go out and maybe children go to school in our days, when we go to school and we see people, that have fancy things and we want to have those things. And when we leave that environment, it's like we don't even get to remember it again. But now the commercials are crazy. Just as you leave that environment, you get home, on your phone, you see this adverts pop up on the TV, they pop up on the billboard. It's just a whole lot of pressure out there. So you need to teach your children how to take charge of their mind, how to take charge of their mind. So you have to limit their exposure to all of these commercials. You need to limit it. And practical ways that you can do that, you can download an ad block. Yeah, you can really download an ad block that reduces and completely even eliminates all those adverts that pops up on videos. Once you have that app installed in your phone, you hardly see all of those, commercials, all of those adverts that put undue pressure. This is the new phone that is trending. If you don't have this phone, you are not yet, the best kind of girl or the best kind of guy. Teenagers, they always want to feel among. So if they can, if you can help them reduce the consumption of these commercials and these ads, it will help the process of being focused and of being contented easily. Yes, so I really believe that this point has really stood out and this has really blessed someone today. Now, to just emphasize something on the place of quitting comparison, let your children know that they cannot control everything. Speak to them that they cannot control everything, that the only thing they can control is how they feel towards a certain thing. So people around them seem to just be doing better. People around them seem to be advancing in their life, and they feel like they've been in a particular, situation or a particular position for a long time, and they seem not to be advancing. Just let them begin to, recall all of their blessings. There's just so much that they can be thankful to God. So they should practice gratitude by journaling those things. Sometimes when you sit down, you just begin to, what can I even be grateful for? But by the time you pick up your pen and your book and you start to write down, you will be amazed that you've written close to 100 things to be thankful for. So you can, engage your children into journaling, engage them, encourage them to do a whole lot with journaling. And I really, really believe that these tips are really going to help you. So just for the sake of emphasis, I'm going to revisit the point again that I mentioned. I mentioned 5 powerful strategies, and I said number 1 is that you have to model, contentment to your children. Please practice it intentionally. Model contentment. I don't even know how to, create this picture for you as a parent, but whatever, contentment means to you as a parent, please ensure that your children are seeing you practicing it. You know what? It's just a human thing. It's not just children. We are all products of influence. What we see sticks in our brain. That picture sticks in our brain, and it has a powerful, it has a powerful way of influencing our behaviors and our attitude. So when your children see that you are contented with what you have per time, that you go to a place where it seems like everybody is so flashy and so dope, and yet even with what you have that you've probably been wearing for years, you still feel confident, you still feel excited. In fact, acknowledging other people that are looking. So, oh, you look so beautiful. I love this. I love your shoes. I love your clothes and all of them. Let your children see that you are so happy with who you are, that you can even look beyond yourself and begin to appreciate the beauty in other people. When your children see all of this, it will become a part and parcel of them. They go into school, they see people with, maybe more flashy school shoes or more flashy, whatever it is that could really make teenagers go wow. They will just feel this security on their inside that yes, I am all complete, I am so enough, and I can still celebrate you and not feel less of myself. It is huge. This is a season where there's a whole lot of competition. This is a period where there's just a whole lot of pressure out there. You need to empower your teenagers early, or else there will be a whole lot of low self-esteem that will, keep on causing them to do things that it's not right. I want to share a little story about how contentment has helped me, or how contentment helped me as a young lady. I wouldn't want to say that this topic of contentment is more, for the daughters or for the sons. You want to say, oh, it's good for daughters so that these girls would not be easily distracted by bad friends, or they will not be distracted by scammers, that come in the garment of I love you, I want to be your friend, I can give you this, I can buy you, the newest Brazilian hair, I can buy you the latest phone. If you don't teach your girl child contentment easily, they are going to fall for this wolves in sheep clothing, because they are going to come with the lust of the flesh. They are going to come with the material things of this world to entice them. But if they have this inward confidence, inward security, they are not going to fall for it, and they're going to stay, focused, and they're going to stay still with God till at the right time when God decides to take them to the next level. So while I was growing up as a young girl, in primary school, I remember that I used to come back home and I'll tell my mom, Mom, this is the hairstyle that is raining. Please make this hairstyle for me. Or this is the dress that is raining. Please buy this dress for me. Or this is this. And I realized that my mom hardly even responds to it. Honestly, she hardly even responds to it. Like, I remember there was a time in secondary school, there's this hairstyle that was raining, which is a gel and telephone coils. Yes, that's what we used to call it then, telephone coils. Yeah, so that hairstyle was really raining. And it was like whenever it's Christmas, that was the hairstyle that a lot of people were making, a lot of children my age were making. But my mom wouldn't make that hairstyle for me. She would rather even make Bob Marley for me, which is just, simple, no effigy, no flashiness at all. And I would not even be happy, because I always felt like I was not doing what was trending. I was not trending and all of that. Okay, so there will be another, style of dress that will come up, and I would, want to have those dresses, and I will never get to have those dresses. And in fact, it's so funny that I maybe sometimes get to make that hair when the hair has stopped raining. So yeah, I finally made that gel hair with the telephone coils, but that was long after that style had rained. That was when I made it, when it was no longer trending. So I didn't know if she was doing that consciously, or it was just her. She didn't have, she didn't want me to do it at that point in time, or whatever it was that was her drive. But what I realized that it did to me was, when I got into university, there was nothing that was trendy that got to me. I had developed a tough skin as a result of the way that I was raised. I was not raised to do what was trendy. Even till date, I hardly do things that are trending. Sometimes I always feel like I'm not a trendy person, or I'm not really, into, okay, this is what is in vogue, then let us do it. No, I do the things that I want to do when I want to do it and how I want to do it. This attitude didn't just come because I read books or I listened to motivational talks. My mom, deliberately or maybe unconsciously programmed me that way. So I got into school even when, and that trouser that they call pencil was raining. I was not wearing pencil trousers. I was still wearing the, boot cut or something, the one that has, flare down there. There were a lot of hairstyles that were raining. I wouldn't even make those hairs. I'll just go with my normal braids, or I'll go with my normal Ghana wig. So I was just, I was just like opposite the trend and all of that. So there was really nothing that anybody could use to entice me. if I had a Symbian phone then, I was not crazy about smartphones. You have a smartphone, I have a Symbian phone, and I can make call, I can browse. I was fine. I was so fine. And this really helped me to remain very focused while I was growing up. There was really nothing that easily, took my attention. I said, oh, this is trendy. Then I'll go borrow money just to have it and be like others. So please, moms and dads in the house, I don't even know how many people are watching me, but if I'm saying something that you are connected with, I want you to just write something in the comment section. I can't see any comments, so I really need to be encouraged that I have people that are watching me and I'm really connecting with you, because this is really not about me coming out here to do all of these things. I really know that there are people that want to hear these things and are also saying yes, that is it. So if you are one of such people, just be generous enough to put your comment in the comment section so that I can see that you are here with me and we are on this journey together, right? So it's very key that we moms, we empower our children. I'm not saying now that you shouldn't do trendy things for your children, but I'm just here to suggest to you the strategies that would work and the motives. Everything has to do with the motives. The motives at which you do what you do is always the best. That is always the best spirit that one should always be conscious about. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why did I give my child a smartphone? Is it because other people's children are having a smartphone, or do I think that it's time for my child to have a smartphone? Why do I dress my daughter the way I dress her? Is it because that's the trending dress pattern? As these children are very small, if you keep dressing them up like with the trending things and all of that, that is the way you are programming them. By the time they are formed and they are fully grown adults, that is the only thing they know how to do what is in the trend. And by the time the trend is something beyond their capacity, something beyond what they can afford, they begin to look for other ways to make it up to themselves, and they might just find other ways that are not godly. So we have to be very careful of allowing our children follow the trends. That's why I said you have to limit the commercials. It's these commercials that usually creates the trend in the society. So a commercial comes out and say, oh, this is the way that a young girl should now look. Her body should be figure eight. So people are beginning to do plastic surgery, this, that. So your child feels like, oh, that's what's trending. And even when she does not have any reason to go do all of those things, she begins to do it. So that she just, become among the people that are trendy. Really, this thing is what is devouring our youth. People are doing what is trend. And have you noticed that these trends are just something that keeps evolving? That which was cool this year might never be cool the next month, might not even be cool. So you just find out that you are not stable, you are not static, you are not contented, you are not satisfied. Okay, iPhone 6 was trending. You do all you could do. You do whatever it is that you could do. You get iPhone 6. Oh, iPhone 6 is no longer trending. iPhone 8. And you're like, oh my God, I'm already slacking. I'm already behind the trend. You begin to, and then they begin to spend all their youthful years following the trend instead of building a meaningful life. Look at all the people that are building a meaningful life. They are not following trends. They are not. They are too serious and they are too focused that the trends are not their motivations. The trends are not their drive. Their vision and their high calling is their tribe. So whatever trend likes, let it happen. If people gift them with the most trending phone, then it is a gift. But they will not go out of their way if they cannot afford it. So we need to build those kind of children, empowered parents. We really need to build children who are not going to be swayed. We need to build children who are not going to be easily gullible. We need to build children who are not going to be easily distracted. We need to build focused children. We need to build them. We need to build them. This is the season where there's a whole lot of distraction. Even as adults, we struggle daily with distractions. Myself, I struggle daily with distractions. I go online and I have an intention that I want to make a post right now, and I begin to see one or two videos, and before I know it, I'm already stuck in those videos, and my data is going, my time is going, my energy is going, and by the time I realize, oh, this was not why I came online, I realize that a whole lot has gone, and time lost can never be regained. So this is a word for the wise. So if you are still here and you have any questions so far, I'm going to let you ask those questions. But as you ask those questions, I'm just going to spend the next minute enjoying myself with this wonderful music and being contented with God's blessings and God's happiness. I remember I said I have a beautiful good news for you. Thank you so much for staying till now. So I'm waiting for questions if there are. If there are questions.
Come on and say, Emmanuel. Emmanuel. We worship you, dear Lord. Come on, say Emmanuel. The Lord is with us. Emmanuel. He's right there by your side. Emmanuel. You don't have to worry, my friend. Emmanuel. We worship you. We worship you. How many know when praises go up, blessings come down? We worship you.
Wow, 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 wow. So we have come to the end of today's session, raising five powerful strategies of raising contented children. And remember, the word of God says contentment, okay? Godliness with contentment is great gain, And another famous speaker says that contentment is the only true wealth. Wow. Contentment is the only true wealth. So we have a lot of wealthy people that are not contented. So you that is contented, you are the wealthiest. You are the, genuinely wealthy person. Okay, so yeah, so we have a project that we are about to launch. Empowered parents, those who are going to be watching this as a replay, we have a project that we are launching very soon. In fact, in few days. Gave me this vision and I have been praying about it, and God's so kind. He brought some people my way. They saw me online and they contacted me and they were ready to partner with me. They were ready to collaborate with me. Wow, this is so huge. All right, so I shared this vision with them, and it is in line with their vision, it is in line with their mission, and they have, agreed to partner with us. They have volunteered to be a part of us, and that is Empowered Parents Reach Out Program. Wow. Empowered Parents Reach Out Program, for short, EPROP. So this vision came to me some few weeks back, over 4 weeks, so like a month back. And then that was late at night or early hours of the morning around 1 a.m. And it just dropped that there's just a whole lot of parents that are not on social media, that are not hearing this message, that have not been, exposed to this parenting education. We need to reach out to them. We need to take the same news, the same good news that we are, blessing the lives of people online. We need to take it to those out there that do not have a smartphone, that don't have a means of coming online. They hardly even read books or even interact with people that can empower their parenting knowledge. So we need to reach out to those people and share this same news. So because there's a whole lot of testimonials that have been coming in as a regards to what we are doing here online. So we also want people that are not able to come online to also, be a part of this. I want you to know that the Empowered Parents International is a vision that is way bigger than any one of us here. And we believe that God that gave this vision really has a purpose for it, and that is why He's really, bringing the resources that we need. So we are going on an outreach. We're going on an outreach on Wednesday, and our focus audience are the moms on antenatal. Yes. So our focus audience are on the moms at antenatal. So we go to the hospitals on their antenatal day and we speak with them, and we also share one or two relief materials with them. And it's just, a movement that we keep doing from, week to week and from hospital to hospital. So this is going to be a maiden edition, and we're starting with our Jerusalem, which is Lagos, Nigeria. So this is me calling out on any one of us that wants to be a part of that reach out program. Is taking place on Wednesday, and we are going to be visiting maternal care, maternal and child care. Yeah, maternal and child care in Lagos, and it is located at Abraham Adesanya. Yes, after the roundabout. So you just, take the road off the express. The maternal and child care, center is located at Ebremadese, and that is where our reach out program will be holding this week on Wednesday, because Wednesdays are their antenatal. So we are going there to do 30 minutes parenting talk with their parents, with the parents or the expectant moms there. I know we're going to be having first time moms there, and we're going to have, multiple time moms there. So the idea is we need to empower these parents with knowledge right before those children come. So we want to start the work from the grassroots. We don't want to keep working on damage control. This child is a teenager and they are running helter skelter. We know that there's just one or two things that these parents need to hear, that would kickstart their parenting journey on the right path. So if you are interested to partner with us, you're interested to sponsor us, you're interested to join us on this outreach program, please send me a DM. Send me a DM. This is Lagos. We intend to spread across the 36 states. So if you want to pioneer the, states outreach that you are located in, maybe you are located in Abuja, an empowered parent located in Abuja, in Calabar, in Akwa Ibom, in Aba, in Uyo, in Sokoto, in Taraba, in Jalingo, wherever you are, as an empowered parent and you want to pioneer the outreach program in your state, you want to lead the outreach program in your state, please send me a DM, and let's plan what we do. So the idea is that we're going to have a consistent message that we send out there, that we go to these different places. And I said our target audience are the expectant mom. We want to begin to empower them even right before these children come in, because I know that once the parents are in the right direction, it will make the parenting work easier. Of course, it's not going to be on a platter of gold. They're still going to encounter challenges, but we want to help these parents to start on the right note. So that's the good news that I mentioned earlier that I was going to spill. Yes, so for anyone that wants to join us this Wednesday, please send me a DM, or you can send me a WhatsApp chat on 0803-511-0942. So we are not spending more than 1 hour. We already have an invitation from the medical director at Mother and Child Care Center. For those who are in Lagos and they are conversant with this region, we can all meet at that place, and the time is 10 a.m. So we want to beat the traffic, right? So I would love to see you empowered parents, and we hope to have our t-shirts. Even if we don't have our t-shirts, but it's fine, we're going to do it. But whatever it is, it will be a great joy to meet an empowered parent team Lagos. And if you want to cheer on for your state of residence, also send me a DM and let's make this dream a reality. Cheers to all the game changers. Cheers to all the empowered parents and international members. Thank you so much for your audience, and God bless you. Bye.
You got to know how to get sacrifice.